now listening to the Zay Moore podcast.
I want to know what Zay thinks
There's
about
a few
that.
things that we gotta address.
Black people got the swag. Black people set the trends. We are the culture. We got a reality star for our president. It's insane. Even if they try to erase black history out of schools, it's not going to erase black history. Because we've been here. Kendrick Lamar definitely beat Drake in that battle. Hands down. At the end of the day, I'm going to keep it real with my people. Because if we don't keep it real with each other, who will?
You already know who it is, man. It's your boy Zay Moore, and welcome back to the Zay Moore podcast, y'all. I want to thank everybody for tuning in once again. We are at episode 3. This is episode 3. I can't believe it. We got people tuning in all the way in Austria, Venice. We got people in Texas, Atlanta, New York. Thank you so much for listening. It means a lot to me, and this is a new journey for me, so we're going to be going on this journey together. But on today's episode 3, we have topics to discuss. We're going to be talking about AI artists, what that means for real artists, people who consume music, movies, things like that, right? And we're also going to be talking about Tyler Perry. We're going to skip the Derek Dixon story because there's a new breaking lawsuit that just hit the forefront that I think kind of ties, I'm getting tongue-tied, y'all, ties in. It ties in Derek Dixon's story. This new lawsuit ties in Derek Dixon's story. So I do want to talk about that a little bit, what this means for his empire, and will it affect him at all, right? He has a new movie coming out on July 11th on Netflix. Are people still going to tune in? Probably. But what does this mean long-term for Tyler Perry Studios? We're going to get into all of that today. But I was listening to my other 2 podcast episodes back, and I was like, yo, I didn't even introduce myself to y'all. How rude, right? Who is this man that just expects people to listen to him like he know what the fuck he talking about? And I don't even know who he is. Nah, but I definitely think that in, this day and age where, the lines of credibility are so blurred, it's important for y'all to feel comfortable and know that I'm coming to y'all with true facts. Everything I report, I've looked up. I'm reaching out to people to get info. So there's no bullshitting over here. You feel me? I credit my grandmother really for getting me into kind of news because she made it a thing to sit down in front of the TV, watch news. I was there with her on Sundays, when we would walk to the store and get the paper. I'd come home, I'd read the paper with her. So although my first love is music, journalism, reading, looking things up, educating myself, that's always been a passion of mine too, right? So I decided to kind of meet the two and dive into both, right? So a little bit about me, right? Let's get into it. As you know, my name is Zay Moore. My name is Isaiah Moore, but don't call me that. My name is Zay. I'm from the Bronx, New York. I have been blessed to work with the likes of Anthony Burrell, who is a celebrity choreographer / teacher. He is amazing. He's worked with the likes of Rihanna, Beyonce, Mariah Carey, and that's just to name a few. I've been shot. I've had my picture taken by the likes of Mark Baptiste. I've been styled by Kite Brewster. I've worked with Tiana Taylor. I've performed for the Housewives of Atlanta. I've worked with Universal Music, and I've worked with Zeus Network, a few of their talent over there on writing some songs. So I've been around the block when it comes to the music. And the later episodes, we'll really get into, I'll tell y'all some stories, about some of the things that I've done and how this whole clash of really like the numbers game, you feel me? Because I come from the era where it's like real talent was being scouted. And then, in the 2010s when shit shifted, artists like myself and some of my other peers, that I know, I'm not going to name them because I don't want them to feel like I'm, calling them out. But, I feel like real artists got stuck in that shift of everything just being about how many followers you got and influencing and all that shit. So I'll definitely tell y'all some stories about the music industry and the things I've experienced. But aside from that, my education, I studied music theory with NYU, and I will be graduating in 2026 with my BA in journalism. What else? I've worked with the CDC, the Democratic Party, the Stop Abuse campaign in New York City. Yeah, so I've been around, and, I'm just grateful and glad that, God has kept me through it all. And, yeah, man, I'm just happy again that I have people tuning in. Again, in Venice, Austria, when I looked at the analytics from my show, I was like, Venice, that is huge. Like, I just didn't expect it to reach that far, but they always say, right? Never doubt the underdog, right? And, I've been humbly waiting for my time, y'all. I'm telling you. And I'm about to shake up the fucking table. I'm telling you that now. I'm coming for spots. And I'm going to the top. Nah, but all in all, again, this is the Say More podcast, and we have some shit to talk about, right?
That's right. Yes, boy, talk.
Yo. No, I'm sorry, y'all. That soundbite is so hilarious. I gotta hear that again.
I know that's right. Yes, boy, talk.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm gonna get serious. All right. Here we go, yo. All right. Let's get serious. That was hilarious, though. That ass. I'm definitely keeping that soundbite. All right. So, the debate around AI music, y'all. Have y'all heard about it? Let's dive into it. The debate surrounding AI art revolves around whether AI-generated images can be considered true art or what the implications of AI art are for human artists. Arguments center on the role of human intention, emotion, and skill in the creative process versus the capabilities of AI to generate visually appealing outputs. So, I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, and what sparked my interest is Timbaland, right? The producer Timbaland. Of course, we know him for producing hits for people like Missy and Aaliyah, Justin Timberlake. Timbaland has signed and I use the word signed in quotations, right? He signed his first AI-generated artist, and I believe the way you pronounce his name is Tata, right? It's Tata. But Timbaland, right, says that Tata is not an avatar or a character, drawing a clear boundary, that he believes she is a living, learning, autonomous music artist built with AI, according to Music Worldwide. This is what he said when he was asked about it. Tata is the start of something bigger. This worries me, right? And we saw, I don't know how many of you guys are privy to YouTube, right? But there was this like AI craze that just took over where they started doing AI versions of songs, right? They would take other artists' voice and put them on other artists' songs. So it would be an AI version of that song. This is scary, right? And especially for, real artists who kind of want to come in the game and have their work respected. For one, it's like, okay, well, do I have to worry about my voice being used to train a digital person or a robot? And two is like, are these artists, are these labels really going to invest in that? Because think about it, right? You have an AI artist that you don't have to argue with. You don't have to worry about them being late to the studio. You don't have to worry about them blowing the budget. And this is what I'm seeing, right? A lot of producers on Instagram and on Twitter, like they are, in a sense, defending, Timbaland's venture into this new AI music, right? And again, for me, I'm not for it. And that's just really what it is, right? I feel like music, the way we connect to it is, from person to person, right? And I don't want to hear nothing from a bunch of codes. I don't want to hear nothing from a person that is made of fucking steel and metal. Like, I'm not with it. You feel me? I'd rather get my music from real people. And I don't think this is going to fly. As much as Timbaland says that this is, the start of something bigger, I think that labels will see that, okay, well, there's a pro and there's a con to this, right? Like, yeah, we can get an AI artist so that we don't have to worry about the normal things you do when you're working with a human artist, right? Which is being stressed out, whatever the case may be, trying to track them down. But people are not going to invest. Consumers, you and I, we're not going to invest our money. We're not going to invest our money into that. It's not happening. So I think that they need to wrap it up. Yeah. They might get some money from the kids and, the streaming and like the Twitch community, but nah. Don't do it, Hollywood. You will lose all your fucking money. We want our movies and our music and our art from people.
I know that's right. Yes, boy, talk.
Had to get some water. All right, y'all. So I've been skating around the Tyler Perry story. Been contemplating if I wanted to do it. I was supposed to get to it in episode 2. Ran out of time. In the midst of me contemplating if I wanted to do it, another lawsuit from another guy popped up. So I was like, oh yeah, I got to talk about this shit. So let's dive into this, right? Braxton Wells, right? He's an actor on The Oval. He's an Army veteran, SAG-AFTRA member. He's publicly accusing Mark E. Swinton, who is the senior VP of scripted programming at Tyler Perry Studios, of grooming, drugging, and flying him from California to Georgia under false pretenses, and committing rape while Wells was allegedly incoherent. Wells is claiming that he has been pressured into silence via a $500,000 settlement and an NDA, stating he must stay quiet or repay the full amount plus legal fees. The agreement allegedly required deletion of evidence within 10 days. That sounds like guilt to me. Moving on, Wells accuses Tyler Perry of personally retaining Swinton despite knowing the alleged misconduct, saying Perry protected his brand over a broken human life and covered it up. Ain't that some shit? Wow. Wow. There's been no official response, by the way. I gotta say that. So Tyler Perry and his team, or Swinton, the guy who he is alleging drugged him and raped him, there's been no response from anyone. And Wells is reportedly taking legal steps to void that NDA, pursuing claims of rape, emotional distress, and legal malpractice. This is crazy. This is so crazy to me. And again, right, I hate to jump on that train of bringing down our black men, so that's not what I'm doing, right? I just got to report the news because that's what I do. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it with integrity, though, and I'm going to do it carefully. But I definitely think that his story needs to be out there. I listened to, while I was doing my keynotes for this story, because he uploaded a video, and I listened to what he had to say. And for me, I'm good at analyzing everything from body posture, tone of voice. Like, for instance, when I watched Jussie Smollett's interview, I knew he was lying, right? When I watched this dude, Wells, talk about what happened to him, name people, I kind of shivered, right? Because I felt the truth coming from the video. So do I believe him? Yes. But of course, in the court of law, you're innocent until proven guilty, right? But we got to take a look at what he's saying here, right? He says that he was pressured into silence with $500,000 in an NDA. So that means that took place, right? And now he's taking steps to void the NDA. So this means that he feels strong enough and, has enough proof that he's coming to the forefront saying, hey, I want my story out there. And wow. Again, right? And I know I keep saying wow because I'm just flabbergasted. And Tyler Perry is somebody that I respect, especially, because, we all know his story. He came up with nothing. He used to live in his car, right? He was writing his scripts for Madea that took off, and here we are now. He has a multi-billion-dollar, I believe, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, empire. And no shade, right? I've always said I felt like Tyler Perry was gay, and I feel like when you build your empire on values that involve religion and Christianity and things like that, it's never going to end good if you're not living the way that they consider you should live. And what is done in the dark always comes to the light, right? My grandmother used to always say that shit. And I feel like a lot of this, if he was living in his truth, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Same thing for Diddy, right? Maybe Diddy is just a freaky ass and he liked males and females. I was going to say, B's and N's, but I'm going to keep it professional. Yeah, maybe he liked both. And if he had the space to live in his truth, a lot of the shit that he's going through probably wouldn't have happened to him either. So it's a lot to unpack, right? And again, nobody should have to go through that who just has a dream of like wanting to make it big or wanting to be an actor or wanting to be a singer, right? Like, and again, like I said in episode 2, this is something that's been going on since the 1940s. It's a power tactic and it's sickening, right? We got out the Harvey Weinstein. We got out the Jeffrey Epstein. Diddy, unfortunately, has been exposed, but for every Diddy, for every Epstein, for every Weinstein, there's like a million more of them. And y'all do know that, right? So it's a lot of work to do. It's a lot of work to do. And like I said, if you have a dream, that dream should, like, nobody should be dangling your dream in front of your face, like, do this or else I'm throwing it out. Like, that to me is just like trauma. It's just like fucked up. And did I mention that all of this is alleged, right? Because, I don't want nobody coming for my ass, right? This is all alleged, right? So this is what Brandon is alleging. I don't have any proof right now. I can just give y'all my opinion based on the findings, and everything that is out there right now to the public. And if the case goes to trial, best believe your boy will be following it. But that is a wrap, y'all. We made it through to episode 3. I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Zaymore podcast today. It was fun. I feel like today was a productive listen, right? You got to know a little bit more about me. We had a full conversation about AI. We had a full conversation about Madea. It was fun. And we laughed, right? We joked. And that's what it's all about, right? You got to laugh to keep from crying these days. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, you can catch me every Tuesday and Sunday. I almost forgot my own schedule. And in between those days, I'm actually working on some little side series. Zay Heard It, Zay Saw It, where I'll be covering things like albums, songs, movies. Definitely got some fun things in store. And I'll be transitioning to YouTube soon, so y'all be able to see your boy's beautiful black face. You feel me? But nah, y'all, thank you again for tuning in. It's been so much fun. Thank you for joining me on the Zaymore podcast. I'll see y'all this Sunday. Peace.